The Senate held a vote today on this measure to reopen the government. This is the same GOP-backed resolution, the one that passed the House like 3 to 4 weeks ago, the one Mike Johnson is saying that the Democrats in the Senate have to pass before they come back and do any work in the House. Now, they held this vote. The final vote was 49 to 45. And they didn't even meet the 50 vote threshold where J.D. Vance could have been the tie-breaking vote if they would have carved out this kind of resolution from the filibuster. But they haven't taken the nuclear option of the filibuster yet because they want to use the filibuster when they're in the minority. But there's been pressure on them from certain Republicans to get rid of it so they can pass it and open the government without Democratic support. However, they couldn't even meet 50% on their own measure. They could not agree enough to pass this, even if J.D. Vance could have been the tie-breaking vote. This is problematic. This means there's probably no end in sight to this government shutdown until they start actually negotiating in good faith. They don't negotiate right now. All they are doing is continuing to bring up the same thing for a vote time and time again, and the votes don't change, and then they blame Democrats. If they were serious about opening the government, they would be having multiple votes. They would be trying different bills. They would be saying, hey, what if we give you 2 years of Affordable Care Act subsidies and 50% of the Medicaid cuts returned or something? They're not doing any of that. They are just trying to force this bill and make the Democrats vote for it. And it's not working. And they're losing the public opinion battle right now about what's going on. So I don't know what's scheduled for tomorrow, if this is going to bring up any new votes tomorrow, if they're going to try again with this same bill. But they have not successfully passed it. And right now, even if they nuked the filibuster, it wouldn't work to get through because they didn't even have the votes today to get it passed, with J.D. Vance as the tie-breaking vote. So we'll have to see if the negotiations start in earnest here starting soon, or if they're going to continue this game. This could end up being the longest shutdown in U.S. history, where it could go longer than the 35 days that happened under Donald Trump's first administration when Republicans were in a similar position. They're not serious about governing. They're not serious about negotiating. They just want their way. And then they want to blame the Democrats for not getting their way, but they can't even agree with themselves enough that if they change the rules, they could still pass it. This is dysfunction at its peak. We are seeing how they cannot govern whenever they're in charge.